Chisom, talk to me. What's wrong? What is it? Did you see something?
The bride screamed, not from happiness, not from excitement. She screamed the way a person screams when they see something that no living person is supposed to see. And the worst part? Temi knew exactly what had caused it because it had happened before. And before she could run, before she could explain, before she could do anything at all, her phone was already buzzing. Someone had recorded it. But let's go back, because to understand what happened in that wedding hall in Ikeja, you need to understand one thing first. Temi should never have said yes to that job. Here is something nobody tells you about being talented. The more skilled you are, the more people feel entitled to your time. Temi was the best makeup artist on Bode Thomas Street, maybe in all of Surulere. Her hands were magic, the kind of hands that could pick up a brush, spend 20 minutes on a face, and leave a woman looking like she had been poured out of heaven and set to dry. But talent without boundaries, that is just free labor with a pretty name. Every Saturday morning, sometimes Sunday, sometimes any day the devil felt creative, Temi's phone would ring, and the voice on the other end always said the same 4 words. Temi, it's urgent, please. A friend needing a gele tied, a cousin needing a full beat before an asoebi, a neighbor's daughter whose original MUA had just cancelled. Always urgent, always at the last minute, always conveniently expecting it for free. And Temi, because she had the kind of soft heart that had not yet learnt its lesson, would say yes. She would pack her bag, take 2 buses, walk half a street in Lagos heat, spend 2 hours of skill and products she paid for herself, and go home with nothing but a God bless you and a plate of jollof rice that was already cold. Her rent was 3 months late, her generator had stopped speaking to her, and her best imported brushes were being used down to the handle because she kept lending her time and supplies to people who would never think twice about it. But here is the part of the story where things get interesting. Because not all of Temi's brushes were bought online. Some of them were very, very old, and they did not come from any store. Temi had found the box at 17 at the back of her grandmother's room. Small, wooden, wrapped in old Ankara cloth that smelled of camphor and something else, something with no name in any language she knew. Inside were brushes, smooth, carved by hand, the kind of weight that settles into your palm like they were made for it. Her grandmother had told her, very calmly, the way old women in Lagos tell you things that should terrify you. Those belonged to Mama Agba. She carved them herself from the Iroko tree behind the old church, the one where they buried Prophetess Dorcas. Temi had nodded and gone on with her life. She used the brushes. They were good, better than good, blended like butter on warm skin, like the bristles knew where the light was supposed to fall. She kept them for the important jobs. She had no idea what they actually did. The first warning sign came 2 years before the wedding. A client named Mrs. Fulake, mid-session, let out a short scream and then went completely quiet. Afterward, she said, "I just saw something, like a fast dream." Temi said, "Drink water." The second warning was the same. Third, fourth. Temi told herself it was nerves, told herself it was coincidence, told herself these things the way we all tell ourselves things we secretly know are not true. Then came Chisom's wedding, and everything Temi had been refusing to believe walked right up and stood in front of her. The wedding was big, the kind of wedding where the asoebi alone cost more than Temi's rent. Flowers at every corner, a band warming up outside, the smell of jollof rice and money mixed together in the air. Chisom, the bride, was 28 and beautiful and shaking with so much happiness she could barely sit still in the chair. Temi had been paid well, full price, on time, no drama. She had brought everything, her good products, her good energy, her good brushes. She had also, without thinking, packed the old ones. She was doing the final touches, the last soft strokes of contour along Chisom's jaw when it happened. Chisom stopped moving, not fainting, not sleeping, completely, absolutely still, eyes open, staring at something that was not in the room, something only she could see. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3. Then Chisom blinked and made a sound that was not a word, a sound that came from somewhere deeper than words. "What did you see?" Temi whispered. Chisom turned to her slowly. Her voice was flat and dry, like road in Hamatan. "I was alone, in a room with white walls. I was not moving." Temi's stomach turned to cold water, and before she could even process what had happened, she heard something that made everything worse, the sound of a phone camera clicking. One of the bridesmaids had been filming the whole thing. Temi packed her bag and left before the reception began. She told herself it was nothing. She took the bus home, held the box brushes in her lap, did not open it once. But 2 days later, Chisom called. "Something happened at the reception," Chisom said. Her voice was controlled, too controlled, like someone holding water in cupped hands. "During the first dance, I tripped. I hit my head on the edge of the stage. I was fine. It was nothing, just embarrassing. But my bridesmaid, Sandra," she paused. "Sandra said the hospital room they took me to had white walls and that I looked exactly the way I looked in the thing I described to her, still, alone." Silence on the line. "Temi, what is inside those brushes?" Temi's mouth was dry. She said, "I don't know." That was a lie, but it was also, in the most terrifying way, the truth. She now knew what the brushes did. She had been refusing to know it for 2 years, but now she knew. When she used those brushes on someone's face, when Prophetess Dorcas's Iroko tree touched a living person's skin, that person saw their own death. Not how, not when, just a flash, 3 seconds, a window opening and closing. And she had been doing it to people unknowingly for years. Temi had exactly 48 hours before the people who wanted those brushes showed up at her door. She just didn't know it yet.